Have you ever remembered something that never actually happened? Well, you're not alone. This peculiar phenomenon is known as the Mandela Effect. It's a curious instance where a large group of people collectively misremember facts or events. It's not a glitch in the matrix, but rather an intriguing quirk of human memory. The term was coined by self-described paranormal consultant Fiona Broome. It's named after the false memory some people have of the iconic South African leader Nelson Mandela, who many erroneously believe died in prison during the 1980s. In reality, Mandela was released in 1990 and served as South Africa's president from 1994 to 1999. This collective misremembering is more common than you might think, and it stretches far beyond just one individual. It's an enigma that blurs the line between fact and fiction, reality and perception. Are you intrigued? Well, buckle up as we dive deep into the fascinating world of the Mandela Effect. Now, where did this strange phenomenon originate? Let's delve into the roots of the Mandela Effect. The term Mandela Effect was coined by Fiona Broome in 2010. Fiona is a self-identified paranormal consultant, and she came up with the term after a conversation at a conference about how she remembered the tragic death of Nelson Mandela in a South African prison during the 1980s. But here's the twist. Nelson Mandela did not pass away in the 1980s in a prison. He lived until 2013, becoming South Africa's president and a globally recognized figure. So how did Fiona and others vividly remember an event that, in this reality, never occurred? Fiona proposed that her and others' memories weren't wrong but belonged to an alternate reality, a different timeline that somehow got mixed up with ours. This is where the concept of alternate realities or parallel universes comes into play. But hold on, before we go down the wormhole of quantum physics, let's also consider a more grounded theory, the fallibility of our memories. The human brain is an amazing organ, but it's not perfect. Memories aren't just stored like files in a computer, they're reconstructed every time we remember them. Each recall is like a game of telephone, where the message gets slightly distorted. Over time, these small distortions can lead to significant changes, creating false memories. So, the Mandela Effect could be about crossing timelines or simply about our brains playing tricks on us. But what makes it really fascinating is when a large group of people share the same false memory. This isn't just an individual forgetting where they left their keys, it's a collective misremembering of major events or details, like the spelling of a popular children's book series or the date of a historical event. And that's the crux of the Mandela Effect. It's not just about an individual's memory fallibility, but a collective one. It's about how our shared reality might not be as stable as we think. So it's not just about misremembering, but sometimes about misremembering en masse. Let's take a walk down memory lane, shall we? And as we stroll, we'll be exploring some of the most popular examples of the Mandela Effect that have left people questioning their own memories. First up, we have an iconic line from one of the most celebrated franchises in film history, Star Wars. Darth Vader revealing his identity to Luke Skywalker is a moment seared into the minds of millions. But how many of you remember the line as, "Luke, I am your father"? Well, brace yourselves. Because the actual line is, "No, I am your father." A subtle difference, but enough to shock Star Wars fans worldwide. The misquote has been propagated in pop culture for years, solidifying the incorrect memory in our minds. Next, let's turn our attention to a classic figure from the world of board games, the Monopoly Man, or as he's officially known, Rich Uncle Pennybags. Picture him in your mind. Does he have a monocle? If you answered yes, you're not alone. Despite the widespread belief, the Monopoly Man has never had a monocle. Yet countless people recall him sporting one. Could it be that we're merging his image with that of another monocle-wearing icon, perhaps the Planters Peanut Man? Now let's dive into the realm of children's literature with the beloved series, the Berenstain Bears. Or should we say the Berenstain Bears? Yes, you heard that right. Despite many of us clearly remembering the spelling as Berenstain, the actual spelling has always been Berenstain. This particular example has left a significant number of readers baffled, leading some to concoct wild theories about parallel universes. Oh, and remember the famous painting of King Henry VIII holding a turkey leg? Except, there is no such painting. Despite a widespread recollection of this very specific image, it simply does not exist. The painting is often referenced in popular culture, and yet no one can point to its origin. This is yet another instance of the Mandela Effect, where a collective false memory seems to have taken root. These examples illustrate how the Mandela Effect is more than just a simple case of faulty memory. It's about collective misremembering on a large scale. It's about how pop culture, word of mouth, and even our own minds can warp our perception of the past. It challenges our understanding of memory itself, leading us to question how much of what we remember is actually real. In conclusion, the Mandela Effect serves as a reminder that our memories are not always as reliable as we'd like to think. It shows us how easily we can be convinced of something that never happened or existed. From iconic movie lines to childhood books, these examples have left us questioning our own recollection of events and facts. Isn't it eerie how our memories can play tricks on us? But why does this happen? What's the science behind it? Well, the Mandela Effect isn't just some eerie phenomenon, it's deeply rooted in psychology and the way our brains function. The brain, you see, is a complex machine, and sometimes it takes shortcuts. These shortcuts can lead to memory distortions, which can manifest as the Mandela Effect. One such psychological theory that may explain the Mandela Effect is confabulation. This is a memory error defined by the production of fabricated, distorted, or misinterpreted memories about oneself or the world. Confabulation can be innocently deceptive as our brains fill in gaps in our memories not with accurate information but with what we think should be there. For example, if you strongly believe that Nelson Mandela died in prison during the 80s, your brain might fill in the gaps with a fabricated memory of hearing this news, even though it never happened. Here, our minds are not deliberately lying. Instead, they're trying to create a coherent narrative for us. Another theory is the misinformation effect. This concept suggests that our memories are highly suggestible and can be distorted by incorrect information. So, if a group of people recalls an event incorrectly, their shared misinformation can influence others to adopt this mistaken memory. And then there's confirmation bias, which is our tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs or values. In the context of the Mandela Effect, if you believe that Berenstain Bears was spelled Berenstain Bears, you're more likely to remember it that way and disregard any evidence to the contrary. So, in essence, the Mandela Effect is a testament to the fact that our memories are not static, but dynamic. They are not perfect recollections of the past, but are continually shaped and reshaped by our current knowledge, beliefs, and biases. Our brains, it seems, are the ultimate illusionists. Are you ready for a chilling thought? Now let's delve into the horror aspect of the Mandela Effect. It's not about ghosts or ghouls, but something much more insidious. It challenges our perception of reality itself. The Mandela Effect has the power to make us question everything we think we know and remember. It's like a psychological thriller playing out in our minds where the villain is our own faulty memory. Imagine waking up one day to find that a key aspect of your world has changed, and you're the only one who remembers it differently. It's the eerie sensation of feeling like you've slipped into a parallel universe, where everything is almost exactly as you remember, except for one small, yet significant detail. This uncertainty, this fear of not trusting our own memories, is the true horror of the Mandela Effect. The Mandela Effect, in essence, is a haunting reminder of the fallibility of our memories and the fluidity of our realities. Where does this leave us then? We've journeyed through the intriguing landscape of the Mandela Effect, a phenomenon that challenges our understanding of memory. We've delved into its origins, named after Nelson Mandela, and how it highlights collective misremembering on a grand scale. We've explored popular examples like the Monopoly Man's missing monocle and the curious case of Berenstain Bears. We've also peered into the psychology behind this phenomenon, understanding how our brains fill in gaps, creating false memories and breeding confusion. Then, we've touched upon the horror aspect, the eerie realization that our memories, the very essence of our identity, are fallible and can be easily distorted, is indeed a chilling thought. In conclusion, the Mandela Effect is a fascinating exploration of memory and perception. It's a reminder that our recollections are not always as reliable as we believe them to be. So next time you're sure about a memory, question it. You may be living in your own Mandela Effect.